Hey everybody. Hi. It's Vlad. I'm going to try something different. So usually whenever I go live, I do a countdown. Reason being is because I like to set up stuff, like to make sure my stuff is prepared, make sure the things that I have working are working, which again, right now I forgot to do this. So I'm going to do that. Um, and I've saw a lot of comments on like, please like remove the countdown, so I don't have to see it. Like to me, honestly, I thought it was just not a big deal. In the grand scheme of things, you literally just click on the timeline and just go 10 minutes ahead and boom, you're good. But what I am going to try is I'm just going to not have one and just start pretty immediately. I like to yeah, cold open, nice. Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to start doing some cold openings, see if that helps, if that helps people out with chat or with everything. Hold on, I didn't even have fucking chat going on right now. All right, so chat's good. Looks like everything is good. You see, I don't mind countdown, good music track there. Yeah, no, I like I said, I know, and I've seen this comment a lot, is like the whole, so here's how YouTube works. If I go after stream and try to go into the YouTube studio, which YouTube studio is fucking god awful for editing a post launch video. But if even just doing that, it replaces the video, meaning the old video with the 10-minute countdown, all of that is gone. The ad revenue is gone. And it basically creates a new video in its place without the 10-minute countdown. So and removing the countdown sometimes is a literal pain in the dick. Like I said, the editing software on, for people who have done YouTube will understand how shitty it is. The people who have never done YouTube be like, well, it shouldn't be that fucking hard. It shouldn't be that hard. It literally shouldn't. So yeah, it's just something I'm gonna try now. It's like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just start right off the bat. But basically there's, there was some news that happened today, and, shit, I didn't even bring that up either. See, this is why, like, I guess I'm just going to have to start like getting more prepared before I go and launch. Let me see. Here we go. All right. Well, if that's the case, then just ignore the people who say, CUSO, do just skip. It doesn't stop me from watching. Yeah, I know. I'm like I said, I'm just gonna try it. I mean, like if I need to do the countdown, I will. But if I can become more prepared and just start it, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Like, so I do use the countdown to like get my water, and I try to do all the stuff I needed to, but I'm so scatterbrained sometimes. It's just, feeling better today. I am. I feel way better. I feel tons better. Thank you so much for asking, Graven. But yeah, sad news today, man. Sad news. And we got it. We actually had it broke last night. And last night, what's with my headache? It's better. It's like I said, it went away after a couple of more hours last night. I ended up taking a drive because I didn't even want to be in my computer desk to sit down. I needed just to do something mind numbing. So I just went for a drive for like 2 hours. Because I really don't leave the house too often. I'm like here at home like all the time. The countdowning for you is to give people time to receive the noti, get in and not miss the juicy deets. No, for sure. And that's why I kind of like it, right? And I think maybe I was just, I guess I'm just too much of a people pleaser sometimes. I see these comments and I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just see if I can just do a cold open. But yeah, my VA doesn't support driving around due to past gas prices, but I wish I could. That's funny. But yeah, no, I get it, Roar. Yeah, so let's go and talk about this, right? So this is the big news, right? This is literally broke last night. We actually, at least I didn't know, and I was really nervous. So I reached out to the couple of developers that I normally chat with, and they're all still at the company. Thank Christ. I could not handle if they weren't there. I would be a whole different Vlad today if they weren't there. But basically, there's been people, and look, this is something that honestly happened last February in 2025 during phase 2. They let go of like 13 people, and then they did hiring the next month, and they basically got them back. And honestly, like what ends up happening, especially with people that have been there for a while, right? Like whether it's like through raises or whether it's through, meeting certain like bonuses or whatever, now their salaries are at this kind of degree. Well, we can just hire someone new, right, to replace them and then go back down, right? And that's what a lot of companies do. I mean, we do it all the time in insurance. Like it's fucking like, and that's kind of like the death knell whenever you get a raise and you're like, oh, I wonder when I'm just going to be laid off. So a lot of times what happens, at least in our neck of the woods, is we get that raise and then we're immediately like searching for another job to start at that new company with our raised annual salary. So that way it's like we can keep kind of jumping up and up and up and up. That's kind of how people do it. It's funny to see someone find something to complain about just to make them themselves feel good. Yeah, I mean, I think again, any Ashes hater is going to look at this and be like, "Oh my God, Ashes is doomed. It's failing. It's blah 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 blah." Right? And to me, I feel like if this was like a massive layoff, we would have seen like 50, 75 people like be let go at Intrepid. And that's just not the case, like at all. And so I want to kind of talk about some of the stuff and where it all kicked off from, which was this this Stacy person. This was on LinkedIn, and let me see if I can move my camera real fast. She said, so happy to hear about the layoffs at Intrepid Studios. To any of my friends affected, please feel free to reach out. I'll see what I can do to help and provide moral support. Times are rough, but remember, you're not alone in this. And that kind of sparked the whole wildfire last night. And then people were just kind of worried, right? Because right now the sentiment around Ashes is being super negative, right? It's been very odd. It's been very weird. And I've said this, like, if you've watched my stream for any couple of days, like I felt off. I felt like I entered a new timeline. It's definitely feeling different this year. Feeling better today. I do. I feel tons better. I got my water right here. I got my coconut water right here. I'm all hydrated up. But yeah, no, I feel good. That's assuming 250 devs is a real number. 9 isn't big, but if there are only 70 of them, then that's a lot. Well, regardless, I mean, I think being around the same people, like 9 people, like whether it's like one person per team or 2 people from a team or whatever, like hell, like anytime I even lost a single member of my team, like the whole dynamic just felt weird afterwards. And then we got like Karl or, Brittany or, someone to kind of fill in the spot, and it just like, it kind of takes a while for people to get their flow back, right? To get their friend dynamic in their workspace, right? So it's definitely one of those things that could really like screw things up. So I think right now with us and how the community, the Ashes community more specifically, has been feeling, this was like another like blow to the morale. And this not only was extended towards us, the community, but also towards the devs themselves, right? And this was something that Steven, because someone posted that thumbnail on Reddit and it got like upvoted to hell. I think it's over like 400 upvotes now. And then Steven came on and said, he wanted to add some clarity here because I know how concerning headlines like this can be. Recently, 9 people out of a team, about 250, were impacted as part of this targeted team adjustments. This was not a large-scale layoff or not a reflection of the health or future of Ashes of Creation. These are real people and friends, and this was not an easy decision. We're doing what we can to support those affected. At the time, development on Ashes is continuing forward, and the teams remain strong and fully engaged with the project. Let me see. I appreciate how much this community cares. It means a lot to me and to the team. I just ask that we keep the conversation respectful and grounded in facts. And, because again, you just have people like running with headlines, right? Like running with stories and shit. And that's how this shit happens. And, I think this is just something that um, is not the good way to start off the day, right? And, we're talking about like watching Phantom's video. We're watching, things on YouTube about like, oh, Intrepid was supposed to hit certain like financial like benchmarks by the Steam release, and those benchmarks weren't hit, and then we see like layoffs happen. And then we think, kind of going back to, Phantom's video, is this just like the first wave? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't remember waves happening last time around, but I feel like we're in a different situation than we were in phase 2 than we are now in phase 3 early access. So I hope not, but I'll tell you this, like when I worked at my company that I ended up just quitting myself, like I literally just quit. There were 4, which ended up being like massive at the end, right? So I came from an insurance company here in San Antonio. I was salaried, and my job literally was horrible. My boss didn't know what the hell they were doing. The people on top of me didn't know what they were doing. The people at the bottom, everybody at the bottom had a way better idea how to do the job and did multiple people's job, because the people at the top couldn't do a damn thing themselves. It was literally like taking care of babies. It was beyond stupid. And so I, when I quit, there was already stuff that was already in the pipeline, and we had about, I don't know, just in the insurance side of like, explanation of benefits, like the medical, dental, vision, and, ancillary benefits, we had a team about like 30. And then we had, of course, like, all the other divisions, in the team, right? So we had, the accounting department, the insurance department, and all those stuff. And we had about 130 people across the entire company, and they literally fired within 4 waves, almost like 2/3 of the company. And then sure enough, I found out not even a couple of weeks ago, it was literally, I think, late December, that the company ended up shutting down that I was working for. And yeah, insurance is brutal, but I mean, I hope that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, more layoffs to happen in the future. I don't want Intrepid to shut down. But I think, then I've said this many times, the realistic part of startup companies is the financial portion. Most startup companies fail due to the financial pressure or just the lack of financial, monies. And so I really hope that that's something that can be fixed. I really hope that's something that, maybe they do more cosmetic packs and that's how they can get money that way. But, Dino Rage, thank you so much for the follow. And Harley Quinn Panda, thank you so much for the follow as well. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. So if systems get moved to third-party developers, people's jobs are just going to lose, sadly, or are going to be lost, sadly. Yeah, I mean, and I think by what Steven was talking about, and again, just watching like Phantom's video, you kind of see a little bit of the writing on the wall when it comes to like hiring those third-party studios to like outsource work to them, right? And I think, I really hope that they can keep the 250 number, right? I really hope they can do that. So, again, last year, they lost 13 and they ended up doing some more hiring, and then were able to basically get them back. But again, onboarding new employees, getting them used to their pipeline, getting them used to their tools, it's going to take a while. So even if they do manage to hire even 4 people by the end of February, which would be a lot in 1 month, you probably wouldn't see the effects of that probably till May, like realistically, especially in game dev. So it's definitely going to feel a little impacted. I would be very curious to know which teams people were let go from. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know how big certain teams are, right? And I think that would kind of either put us more at ease potentially, or the opposite could actually give us more of like, oh God, they lost 4 people from the combat team. Like, yeah, like and my whole thing was, is like, is Bucky still there? Well, that was my other thing in my head. I was like, is Bucky there? Golly. Like, I mean, I don't think they'd ever let go of Bucky at this point. I mean, it'd be a fool's errand to get rid of that man. Let me see. I was already followed you somehow. If unfollowed. Oh, that's weird. Well, thank you for refollowing me. 9 to 250 to mean could be 9 people who weren't doing a good enough job. Let me see. I don't know why people think layoff equals money problem. Not always the case. Well, and honestly, dude, like again, and there's so many people that just don't even do enough to get by. They just, the work they do isn't good. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much you show them or re-show them or whatever. And again, we've seen this like as testers, like how many things say this thing is working. And then we go into the live thing as like, no, it's not. It's not working. So if you come from the team where if I'm the team lead of, let's say, I don't know, the animations team, and I was in charge of doing the idle animations, and they put forth that patch and I was like, all right, it's all good or whatever. And then lo and behold, the idle animations weren't fucking working on live. Then the lead of the animations team is going to be like, Greg, weren't you doing the idle animations? Yeah. Did it not work? It worked on my end. And then the boss goes to Greg's desk and then discovers, no, dude, it wasn't working on your end. Do you see these 2 lines? You see how because they're red, the line's broken? You should have done it like this. Like, didn't someone tell you this? Like, or didn't so-and-so tell you how to do this? Like, or shouldn't you know how to do this? Like, you were hired on to do stuff like this. Like that's like a very realistic scenario. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when that keeps happening and you keep having these problem childs like in teams, you know, it's like if you're a team lead and then you're in a meeting with all the leads and Steven, and they ask you like, well, who in your department are like the weak links? Like, who are the ones that aren't doing the job that you feel is up to the par of everyone else? And, you know, you're right. I mean, sometimes layoff isn't technically money issues, but I mean, also like you know, you can also be dragged down by your weakest chain. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, it's shitty no matter which way you cut it. Let me see. I refuse to believe at this pace they have 250 employees. I mean, you can, like I said, you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, but it is fact. You know what I mean? Unless Steven's lying, you know. But for me, I just want to see what progress we're going to get. And I've been judging them at every single step. If you watched me yesterday when I was feeling really shitty, like, you know how I was there. I've always been very transparent in how I feel when it comes to certain things that they're doing. But you see, didn't he outsource members in the past? I don't think he's ever, I mean, if they did, it was never said, but if they did or didn't isn't really relevant to me. Like, what matters is the job they're doing. And I feel like the job they're doing so far has been so hit and miss. And I think they're trying to they're trying to hit something out of the park. And if there are people that are, you know, weak in certain teams that are all like pulling to like, because again, it's like if you're in a team and you know Greg is just, he's slow, 70% of the stuff that he does, you're going to have to end up going back. It's like all he's doing is slowing you down. And I've had a Greg on my team. 100%. I've had a Greg on my team. I had a guy named Lewis, and in working in insurance, it's meant to be like a very old man, you know, thing, right? Like anytime you go and maybe to sign up at your job and there's an agent to help you, chances are they're probably 50 plus. And I had a guy named Lewis, and he was like 61. He didn't want to do computer work. He thought that everyone had to do, you know, his job basically on the computer because he did shit on paper back then. And it's like, no, dude, you got to put your own stats and your own things like in the computer. Like what? Like, what do you mean? You know, and it's like the fact that he was even hired on because he was a golf buddy friend of like the owner, and we had to babysit him. And I didn't babysit him. I was like, I ain't gonna fucking do that. You can fire me right now, but I ain't gonna do his job. Like, that's dumb. And again, like at game dev, like I can only imagine like how that can go. And especially if you have a small team of people, right? If you have like 5 animators And one of the animators is just like, you can't give them like a really important critical task because they might mess up. That slows the whole team down. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs to try to be responsible for like all the main tasks, right? To an extent. And I don't know, like again, I can only imagine like how that could flow into game dev and just be super disruptive. So you're telling me you believe that with the lack of updates in the last 6 months, the lack of functional updates, that you still believe they have 250 employees, which we would assume the majority are which developers. So Steven has said that they're not all 250 developers. Like he said that in the past. Like, I don't think they have 250 developers. Like if you're talking people coding and actually working in the game, that's false. He has 250 employees. That includes like the communications team. That includes the HR department. That includes like, all the other like non-coding departments. Like, I'm not too sure. Like I would assume developer wise, maybe they have like 175, maybe around there. I mean, it just depends. Let me see. 250 employees include contractors like the team working on the second continent and content. I don't know. I don't think so, because he's mentioned that 250 number way back in the past, and I don't know if they were doing contracting work back then. The only thing I believe that they were doing contracting work, from what I got from the Steven interview that I did, was the Q&A. They have a Q&A department in Mexico and one in the UK that does QA work for them. But I don't think they count them in their metrics personally. Let me see. So that's really bad, considering devs are the only workhorse. The rest is fluff. Well, bro, like a dev can't be responsible for HR. Like, again, bro, this is a whole ass company. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all, like, you need every single angle of a company. Like, of course, the majority of them are probably going to be like game devs working on the actual game, but I don't consider the rest as fluff, because those departments are very much needed to sustain and run a company. Majority of which, because they only have 3 CS staff per Margaret. Yeah, she said that there was 4, including her. So that's like 4 and, Margaret and 3 other people basically, which is kind of astounding to me. That, and I think the CS team, her team specifically, has been working on all of the bots. Like anytime you go and leave a ticket on the Intrepid website, like it basically sends that to her team. So her team alone are literally going through all the fucking bot tickets, like, or people that are exploiting or cheating, or, if anytime you went and reported a player on there, that went to her. So that's kind of nuts. Let me see. Finances, HR, marketing, you got to admit. Inches, you have to admit. Accounting, contractors, and the 250 is a very Stephen half-truth thing to do. Okay. I mean, like I said, like for me, the only thing I care about is the health of the game. The health of the game right now, like it's not good. There are so many things that are broken. There's so many things that need a lot of work. There's so many things that need a lot more polish and iteration. And I'm not even talking about the systems we don't even have yet. Like in the game that we currently are playing, like the game that you can log into and currently do, there is a laundry list of shit that needs to be changed, adjusted, numerically fixed, buffed, nerfed. I mean, the list goes on. And the more they keep adding, or the more new starts to get added, could then break those things that were once broken even further, or they were fixed and now they're back to being broken. So, it's just going to be, it's going to be hard for a while. Let me see. Jalon did a video semi-recently talking about this exact thing. Over the years, the numbers that Steven has claimed for total employees have included outsourced staff. I wouldn't recommend reacting to it, because Jalon was weird about that, and it was, but it was worth a watch in my opinion. I haven't watched a Jalon video. I didn't even know he was even covering Ashes anymore. I didn't even know, because I mean, usually he was always doing like political stuff. Like after his whole outing with Narc and him, he went all politics, and I thought he just gave up Ashes completely. So it's interesting to me that he's actually picking Ashes back up to talk about. Do you think the activation of the PTR will reduce wipes? I don't think it'll reduce wipes. I think the goal is to never wipe. The goal is to, fix certain things. But if there are certain, exploits or dupes or stuff that can't just be rolled back or fixed immediately or if there's brand new systems that would necessitate like us to try a wipe, then they'll do it. But I don't know. It's 8 to 9 people laid off, right? Yes. That's what Steven said here. If you look recently, 9 people of the team of the 250 were impacted by these team adjustments. He's posting his videos on Steam. Wait, Jalon? You can post videos on Steam? What? That's crazy. I didn't even know you can do that. When you think we get wipe, a lot of people are crying more and more to wipe because bots ruining markets. Well, the thing is that if we wipe, does that just mean the bots are going to go away? Are we going to wipe and then, oh, well, we wiped, guys, bots aren't going to come back and infest our servers all over again? Like, to me, again, my whole thing with wiping is you have to try to get certain back-end things, tools adjusted, especially when it comes to RMT, botting, exploit, cheating, all that stuff. And once you get that in, then you can probably wipe so that when you start seeing that stuff, now they're not going to be too far ahead where you can auto ban them. You can go ahead and take care of the issue. If the tools are still in the same state when we wipe, then we're literally a month later, we're going to run into the same problem. People are going to be again asking, we need a wipe, we need a wipe, we need a wipe. Out of the current conditions and the current climate of the Alpha 2, without nothing being changed, we have about a month. After a month, all of the cracks start showing in some ways. I think most of the cracks you can literally see as you're playing, even the week 1. But you have about a month before everything starts to be very exposed. All of the glaring weaknesses, the negative, aspects, all of the bad system design. A month later, and then you're just sort of over it. Us going into this like semi-monthly wipe cycle would not be good for the overall health of the Alpha 2. And our numbers and what we're trying to accomplish, like on the back end, would be pretty, we would start getting less and less and less testers, right? And I think we need a pretty healthy testing environment, which means we need people constantly going in and reporting these things. The more people that we have just like giving up entirely, that means less reports to them. That means less feedback overall. That means people that probably do have knowledge or the ability to find exploits or dupes are now gone because they're playing other games because they're just not enjoying the experience, yada, yada, yada. Like all of that is just bad. You know what I mean? And it can get, if we only have like 2,000 people testing, and from the people that are currently testing, everything feels good. Everything feels like, oh my God, there's no bugs. Everything's like glorious. And then we go into beta 1 and there's like 30,000 people or 50,000 people or 100,000 people. And then people are finding shit left and right. All these bugs, all these dupes, all these exploits. And people are like, what the fuck? But we were testing in Alpha 2 and there was no bugs. There was no, there was. It's just no one found them. Or people did find them and didn't report them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we need a healthy, like testing environment with testers to keep finding these things, to keep, scratching that surface over and over again. You see, we need less players and more testers. I mean, and that's always going to be hard though, because not everybody else is not a lot of people want to do that. Arcade died due to pay to win, and the crates are only one part of the game. Add more raids, dungeons, arenas, castle sieges, freeholds, cost specialization. Yeah, I mean, we need a whole bunch of shit. I sent you a DM to upload a video from YouTube to Steam. After Steam, maybe you can take a look. Okay, well, thanks, Mag. I appreciate that. You see, the wipes are what kept me coming back, because after 25 and a week of PvP, there's basically nothing to do. No, of course not. I mean, and that's why we need more systems. We need more loops to keep people engaged, except the PTR goes against that logic, especially when the PTR patch is so lame. I do agree. I think the PTR needs to be more focused testing and more A and B testing. Right now, like they're wanting to test treasure maps and other systems that literally haven't changed. Why are you asking feedback on things that we literally have been giving feedback on? Like, okay, you want us to find, bugs in the treasure map. Like, I don't want to even engage in the treasure map system because I don't even like it. I don't like the new design at all. So for me as a tester, I don't even want to participate because I am just not a fan of how y'all designed it at this point. Yeah, that's the average because it died because of pay to win, which is when you ask many people is not the majority reason. I saw the raid and dungeon quality Intrepid is developing. They are a much better grind spot. So yeah, no, thank you. Hello, I just got here. What's happening? We're basically just talking about the the condition of the Alpha 2. We talked about the layoffs. We talked about like how it's important to keep a healthy testing environment so people can keep testing. The more and more people drop off, and believe me, I am a fan of breaks. I've always said if you aren't enjoying your time, please go take a break. But if you get so fed up where you don't even want to come back, well, we basically just lost you then. And that's where shit's going to get in a sense, like we're just gonna have a harder time as a testing community to, leave those bugs, leave feedback. It's just gonna be harder and harder. You know what I mean? But maps were so broken, they are fixing them, and sports videos are so off, they are testing it. I feel like PTR's day was a net positive. Yeah, again, like I'm not saying, for me, PTRs are good, but for me, like there wasn't anything substantial for me to go in and test. Like I've already been testing that already on the Alpha 2. Like, what I'm trying to say? Like, to me, if you're literally gonna spin up a PTR, like you need to either provide changes or bug fixes or things that allows us to see the difference. But when there is no difference, it's like, well, doesn't my old feedback still apply here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I gonna just waste my time when I have already been doing that in live? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Let me see. I quit for pay to win as well. Maybe not want to grind. By the way, all dungeons are grind spots. You saying wow, dungeon isn't. I guess y'all are having a conversation, huh? Let me see. Need more testers and less players is a bit of a dumb argument. There's not a better way to find bugs and exploits than letting people play as they would on launch. A better statement is Intrepid needs better focus testing. Yeah, well, honestly, like when it comes to the focus testing, I do agree. You know what I mean? And people playing in a natural way is always going to be good, And again, like the fact that we've always had people going hard in every phase, people are doing stuff that they would normally do on a live client. If Ashes did launch in this state, which would have been terrible, but if it does launch in this state, these are the realistic routes, the realistic measures players would go through to obtain level 25 to, circumvent certain things like that. That is all good data. You know what I mean? That's all good data for them. Let me see. Ashes is a game designed for a large player base. Less players argument is numb. No, yeah, of course. Like I don't want less people testing. Like I want the current community to feel engaged in the testing. I feel right now it has the lowest engagement because of how current systems are. So let me see. Testers versus players is a mindset. Well, that's true. I do think the PTR, they need to give us factual values. Well, I feel like for the PTR, I think they just need to do a better job at explaining the true intent of the test, and I feel like the PTR right now in this new patch, I don't think was, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze in my opinion. Anyone who was paying attention last live stream knew what Steven meant by saying we're going to start performing cutting loose the dead weight at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, again, like it always sucks to say like, man, I wish Greg was a better employee, but Greg just hasn't really been up to the same par as the other team members. You know what I'm saying? And everybody always feels like they're good at their job, but the reality is that there's just people who aren't. And I had a girl at my job who she struggled a lot, but she persevered and asked questions and literally got better because of it. Like she was afraid that she was going to be ending up like Greg, and she would do more research. She would ask the right questions at the right times, and she wouldn't wait. Like that's the thing. Like she wouldn't wait. She would try to find out as soon as she was confused or when she was having issues or, whenever. Like Greg would literally like, all right, I'm done. And then we would unveil this fucking clusterfuck of everything, You know what I mean? And that's why it always made it such a, because then we would have to like distribute out his workload along with him. And it just slowed all of us down, you know? It just, and it always sucks, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, you're always like, are you fucking kidding me again? You know, it's like, and you never like having like team members like that. You know what I mean? You want to be able to trust your team to do the job. Do we know who was fired yet? No. I mean, honestly, I don't think they'll ever tell us either. I don't think they should. I mean, people should have their anonymity, you know what I mean? And they just got let go. You know, I'm sure this is not a great time for them. And I hope Intrepid is doing what they can to help them find other places like of work. Because I mean, in California, you know, there is a lot of game dev spots, but you know, with a lot of the companies right now, especially when it comes to MMOs or just games in general, like it's a hard landscape right now. You know, it ain't easy. Now Steven's words were, we hope this goes really good or really great, but we will evaluate in January, and is the way I took it. The next live stream will be a good one in that regard. It clearly didn't hit the hype Steven wanted, and now they're being realistic for the first time in the OC development. Yeah, I mean, possibly. I think right now they really need to adjust their team and get, you know, and get people that are just as hungry as they are, that can actually, you know, do the job that needs to be done. Because right now we have a lot of work to do, and I don't think Intrepid can afford fuck ups. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't. You see, that depends on the game. Many times, because games put value in replayability and scale them in difficulty, open dungeons might have good loot with value, but not the way Intrepid develop it. You just go into the dungeon, stand AFK for 20 minutes and spank the respawn boss. How is that engaging gameplay? Well, I've never done a lot of open world dungeons before. And coming from World of Warcraft, I've always just did, you know, instance dungeons and just do that on repeat. So for me, I don't think I'm a fan yet. There's nothing that's particularly sold me on open world dungeons and I guess how players do them. Oh, we're going to stand in this corner and we're just going to pull these like 7 bears and just attack them on repeat. Bro, that we have this whole, like, why are we not going to try to explore and go other places? It's like, oh no, this is just more efficient. It's fucking boring, dude. Like, is this how people do it? Like, I just never, I don't know. Like, that was never something that I would like, what? Like, oh, we just have to be here for 8 hours, killing the same 7 bears. And that's supposed to be amazing. Like, okay, like, I guess. I mean, again, different strokes for different folks, but you know, this is why I think having a variety, because I know there are players that do enjoy that, and that's fine. I don't particularly enjoy it, but it's it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's why for this sand park kind of structure that Ashes is trying to do, it's very important to have those different things for different people, because what a lot of the theme park games do is they force everybody down the same track. And whether you like it or not, you're going fucking down this track. Ain't no screaming and crying. It is what it is. And I feel like in Ashes, like, it would be very cool if, like, well, you have 8 paths you can basically take, and you can take 2 of them simultaneously. You can take 1 super hard. You can take 3 at your leisure, or do none of them. You know what I mean? And just do what you want to do. Like, that's the beauty of like what I see Ashes becoming once everything is in a state of it being good, not broken, not bugged, way more fleshed out. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Dude, you do open world dungeons like New World. People shit on that game, but crate runs were the most up social MMO dungeon. I don't know if I consider crate runs like a social thing. I mean, in the sense of like doing it with your guild, I would definitely understand that, right? Like, you know, if you're doing these huge crate runs, but we used to do that with caravans, man. Like, caravans to me were way better on that than crates were. The Distortion, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Let me see, open world dungeons so far haven't provided anything that seems worthwhile to me compared to instanced. Sitting in a spot is just boring. I've done it for like 500 hours now. Bro, your eyes must have bled then, because that's why I don't do the grind really. This is why I like doing what I do, because even though it's so much more inefficient, I can do it and still enjoy my time. Like, I can only grind for so long, maybe a couple of hours, and then I'm like, all right, bro, I gotta do something else, because I just can't. You see, open world dungeons are better on games like Arcade and Throne Liberty. AOC just does it bad. Well, I would like to see what, because if you're still doing the same thing in Throne of Liberty or Arcage, like are players in those games still pulling like 7 mobs and just staying in one spot for hours? Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I'm curious, like, because people do that here. So do people do that in those games, or is there more to it? You know, is there more to accomplish in these POI spots? I would hope so, but I don't know. Let me see. In those games, you do what you're talking about, where you're moving through them. We see that to me is just a lot better. Like, I want to be able to, like, when I love the way Citadel the Steel Bloom looks like. I think the whole layout of that place looks fucking great. But the fact that there's no incentive to truly like explore it and find the different pathways. And I mean, guys, like I remember when in P1, when me, Roar, Richie, and we discovered that underground place underneath, like where there was like water, and then you had to like swim under the water, and there was like a secret thing up there. I was like, this is really fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like I love things like that, but all that was just another spot to sit there and grind for hours. It's like, okay, like I don't know. I don't know, man. I really want Ash's POIs to be something more dynamic, because I feel like right now they're very stagnant. It's just very by the numbers. Harbingers was supposed to be introduced at peak into dynamic events / content, and so far it's failed horribly. Yeah, and I'm curious because they talked about the Harbingers event like this 3-part thing. So right now we're still at part 1 apparently, and I don't really see the vision. I don't even know what part 1 is supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling, what I'm supposed to be engaging from this. Like, and maybe it's because I'm not level 25 yet, but I also feel like the fact that you guys implemented something that, yes, could be done at level 25, but couldn't even give smaller or lower level players like a peek into those things, like even like little seeps of corruption spreading potentially on the starting zone to, like, you know, have some harbingers, you know, have some little, you know, dynamic openings, you know, stuff like I don't know why that couldn't have been a thing, you know what I mean? Just to kind of introduce it to people early and kill some level 10 through 12 harbingers, like the low B rank people. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of astounds me. They closed the sewer. Are you serious? Oh my God. Probably because they're expanding on it, because I know we actually glitched ourselves into like a whole ass other room that we probably weren't supposed to go get into in P1. So I'm sure they're probably expanding that whole thing. You see, open world pugs have no sense of group, in my opinion. Just seems to be a revolving door of people coming in and out for a while and dipping. Yeah, that's how I see it currently being on live too. It's been like that since phase 1, to be honest. In my opinion, go the route of WoW delves and or New World Catacombs. Instance and risk reward is determined by how many go in. Well, you're gonna have to get that past Steven, and I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they are. Let me see. Harbingers are 100% fun, but or are fun, but 100% not doable with PvP. Yeah, because they're broken. It's meant to be a PvX event, and you can't even engage in the PvX of it, which is weird. So far yet, I've had anything in Ashes that's not bland in terms of biome or POI. I've seen a POI and said, damn, that is so cool. I've never seen a POI and said, damn, that's so cool. Yeah, I think a lot of the POIs are very rough. Like Highwayman Hills is like generic, you know. Graveyard or Grave Peak's pretty generic. I think the Gem Spring is pretty cool. But it's like, it's the most fantasy and the most magic I've seen in the Riverlands, to be honest. But every other spot just looks very, it's serviceable. It's not eye-catching. It's not, the only eye-catching thing really is Carfin, you know, because it's so tall and everything like that. And you get into the exterior, going into the interior. I think that's the only spot to me that really sets a vibe. And I feel like too, the whole anvils, or not the anvils, I'm sorry, the fucking dwarf dungeon. I want to say the Foundry, but it's not called the Foundry. Guys, fucking help me here. My brain is crashing. I'm freaking ex dot dying right now. Let me see, dude. 9 people out of 200. Forge. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The Forge. And I'm going to say this right now. Take the Forge out of the fucking Riverlands. Put it as a major dungeon in the Anvils. The Forge has absolutely no business at all in the Riverlands. I wouldn't even understand why the dwarves would even go that far out of their home to make a fucking huge ass place like that. And you could literally just copy paste it, plop it somewhere in the Anvils, and delete in the Riverlands, and we'd be fucking Gucci. There is no particular reason why we need the Forge in the Riverlands. We have Carfin. Like, I think if we can at least have like one major dungeon in the starting biome, which the Forge can just be placed in the Anvils, have Carfin, you know, in the Riverlands, and then in the other 2 starting areas on the other side, we'll have, you know, 2 other big dungeons. But yeah, like it's just crazy. Here, I'll post the link right here if you want to see. I'm basically on X, but that's it right there. If you want to go and check it out. I don't like how all mid and end game is in Riverlands. No, I think again, like they talked a lot about the Fatui system and going from 1 to 10. And I thought, yeah, 1 to 10 is actually way better than what it was, but I don't even like way better than what it was. In my opinion is like, did you guys see how terrible it was? Like, it wasn't hard improving that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, it needs to get even way more better than what it currently is. It's a nice step in the right direction. The Destinies thing was fucking amazing. I think that needs to be the new achievement system that's in Ashes of Creation. It needs to be way more expanded upon. But the entire Fatui system of the earlier quests and everything like that needs to be greatly improved. There needs to be reasons to go into certain ZOIs, and it can't, and I want to stress this, the starting experience can't put you on one set path. You can't. And the reasoning for that is you have to start making people care about settlements and the settlement reputation and where they want to go as early on as possible. Potentially like at level 3. I think level 3, as soon as you go to Avian's End or Brimore Farms and you get your tools, there needs to be a decision to say, hey, you know, I have like a list here of our particular lieutenants from, you know, Miraleth, from Jova, from Halcyon, from Winstead, and from Nuela that need your help. And they all can't have your help. And it'd be nice to know if you can actually accept a sort of like quest chain, which kind of takes you on the path to start going into Nuela, or starts taking you on the path that goes to Winstead. And once we can have something like that, it's going to distribute all the experience and where all that's going to go in the ZOIs. It actually creates a more living dynamic than just, oh, it's just a freaking, you know, fight between Jova and, you know, Winstead, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to get way better, like way, way, way better. Jova's packed every server. Exactly. Because of where all of the POIs go. And that's why I think the ZOIs in the Riverlands, we need a second pass, honestly, of the Riverlands. I know it's the most fleshed out, but it's definitely not done. Anvils, I think, has like 33 POIs or something like that. Anvils doesn't even, Riverlands doesn't even have 33. We only have 20, to be honest with you. Go look at all the POIs that are in the Riverlands. It doesn't even compare to the Anvils. So we definitely need a bunch of love and worthwhile POIs. Like, we need a Highwayman Hills version and a, you know, so what is it? Church of the Seven Stars version in every biome, or I'm sorry, not in biome, but every ZOI, every zone of influence. So that way, when you're doing your quest chain in Nuela or doing your quest chain in Halcyon, or, you know, wherever you decide to go, there are POIs already there for you to grind from levels 8 through 10. From 10 to 12, from 12 to 15, or, you know, whatever the case is, right? Like, you need that whole thing. So that way you can just stay and give experience to that settlement that you're choosing to go down to, which creates a better better dissemination basically of the server, and actually creating where servers can actually become different, right? Like, oh, in our server, Nuela was the first to hit, a town. Oh, in our server, the first to hit a town was, Marileth, right? And but now it's like, it's always just Jova and Winstead, Jova, Winstead, Jova, Winstead. It's literally what it is. We see, I go to church TV. Thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. I thought I was the only one that was like a dwarf dungeon doing here, or if they're going to have a dwarf starting area, then they released anvils and there's no dungeons in it. Exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly my point. It's so crazy to me. There where you can see they have no clear design path in reaction to the drama of the players putting POIs into the game, which is very worrying. I think what would be very worrying to me is if they continue to be deaf on those ideas. I've seen so many really good ideas from people that have still yet to be implemented, but I have yet to even really see any expansion on any of the current systems, to be honest, either. The last one was the Fatui system, which, was good. Finally, we're starting to expand the whole, like, starting experience and getting that, like, in a way better state. But yeah, like it's definitely one of those things that we need way more iteration on, way more fucking iteration on. All right, let me go ahead. I need to pull up Ashes real fast. Dude, yesterday I was in Jova and I was literally not able to move. I was just constantly like getting rubber banded back. I never had that. I don't know what was going on yesterday or last night, but it was so awful. And I saw everybody else moving just fine. And I'm like, my internet's great. Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. It's been crazy. Has Ashes not hired any UI devs? Not that I know. Not that I know. Because there aren't any meaningful number of devs working on the project. Steven is padding numbers by counting contractors. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know that situation. And here's my thing. Like, I have a lot of my friends, in the Ashes space that are content creators, and many of them have been very negative lately. And my whole thing is that I can either choose to go down that path and go down the whole, like, fuck it, I'm going to be negative towards every aspect of everything. But to me, like, I don't like living life in a negative aspect. I don't. I like, look, if you come to have a person shit on a game, like, you're probably not at the right channel, but I always try to be honest. You know what I mean? And I've never been that person to like, well, Intrepid is doing their best, which I know they are, but I've seen people that white knight. I've seen people that literally at any possible, like, actual, like, factual criticism still can't just say they're doing a bad job. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you all a little secret right now. The devs know that. At least the devs I talk to know that. And they're trying their fucking hardest. But I don't try to pull punches either. Like, I don't. Let me see. Brother, negative implies unnecessary. This is 100% earned negativity. Recently, you've been super honest and advocating for the community. I'm just confused by the takes today. It can't be factual because they aren't transparent. Well, look, like, honestly, the negativity that people have been doing has been warranted, like 100%. And my thing is that when it comes to the potential future of the game, when it comes to the potential, like, is it fine to be negative and to criticize the things that are terrible? Absolutely. But when it comes to the future, the things that aren't known, am I going to choose to be negative on things that I don't know? Or can I at least try to still have hope? You know what I'm trying to say? And there's people that choose to, well, I don't have hope because I don't believe Steven. I don't believe this project anymore. I don't believe this. And if that's how you believe, go ahead. Like, go right ahead. That's how you want to do. That's how you want to live life. Go right ahead. I'm just choosing to try to look at the future optimistically. Because right now, the fact of the matter is, almost every single system that I engage in is broken in the game. And that's not good at all. And I know players are getting really fed up with it. I know the lack of communication has been very frustrating for me personally. And I don't think they're going to really say anything until January's live stream, which is also disappointing to me too, because, you know, Steven and even Margaret have been very good to, in the past, give some kind of an explanation or some kind of just injection in the community that is trying to be positive. And since that hasn't happened, it's been the way it's been. That's why this sentiment in the community has just been seeping and has been almost sort of spiraling into this just negativity, which is warranted. But I feel like Intrepid could have at least tried to, you know, communicate more is my thing. If Intrepid would lay some cards on the table right now, I believe they'd garner some understanding from the community. I think they haven't laid some cards out because they know if the community sees, they'll fold. It's not like telling your boss the whole story because you know they've been sucking lately, maybe because you're overwhelmed, but it's not a good look. No, for sure. And I get it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been there. You know what I mean? Like I've never been the lead of a whole project, but I have been the lead of certain portions of my team. You know, like I've had people that answer to me, but like in my honest opinion, I want this game to succeed. You know, I don't want it to fail. I've never wanted this project to fail. But I can't, I said to myself, and I've even, when I talked to the devs this, I've said to them, I can't be light on you guys. I have to tell it as it is. And they said, yes, please. Like, don't fucking lie to us. Be honest, be transparent. But if you can, be respectful. And I said, you got it. You got it. And I have been. Because, you know, just like anything else, like I'm not here to burn any bridges. I'm not here to, I'm here to help them. I think we're all here to help them, but it feels like a lot of tone deaf decisions have gone out just this month, you know, which we've had tone deaf decisions, at least in my opinion, like, you know, off and on throughout the entire last year, but it just feels like this whole month has just not been good, like overall. And we need to get back to being better and more due diligent to understanding what an open communication or an open development is towards a community that's literally been serving you at hand and foot and testing and playing your game and giving you feedback. And when you are not listening, or when you are being radio silent or leaving us on red, that's just not acceptable. Like, I'm sorry, that's literally unacceptable when we know you're capable of it. Like, that's my thing. And the fact that you guys have to wait another 2 weeks, because we have to finish out this week, and then next week, which will be next Friday, is the live stream. And the fact that we have to wait till there to get informed when you could have set expectations 2 weeks ago is just wild to me. Like it's just wild. Let me see. Not really weird. They need content ready to say anything. The silence tells me everything I need to know. They have nothing for us. I mean, and that's how I feel too. It's like, I feel like, well, if there's more to this patch than what we currently have in the PTR, can you at least kind of let us know, like what systems are going to be more targeted in this patch? Like what things that the people have been complaining about from the community in certain system dynamics, like whether it's sports fishing, whether it's the summoner class, whether it's, you know, whatever, like at least ease us and say like, hey, we are going to put this thing in. It's just not currently ready, but this patch will have this thing. But I don't even know if they can say that, because again, timelines with certain teams are probably like, they don't fucking know. They're like, hey, we're trying to get out this thing or that thing, or what the priority is, what not priority is. But to me, I just feel like a lot of this stuff that got on this patch, some of it I can see it being a priority, but a lot of it I'm like, why is that? Like, why did y'all try to do that first, then this other thing? You know what I'm saying? And that to me is, I think I don't know, like it's just such a head scratcher. Let me see. Let's be real. It's sad. I hope, and still have some, but 11 years backers somewhat stabbed in the back as keys released for less and less, for same access, real life money, no funding needed to, find, backers and new investors, Steam early access out of the blue. Now layoffs, you must see the writing on the wall. It's sad for me. I would say for someone, as an early backer, because I wish I was an early backer too, my sentiment wouldn't have changed too much. Like if I was that summer backer in 2017 that paid $500 for this project, I would still be in the same kind of tone that I am in right now. Like, at least to me. Like I said, I spent $375 on this. You know what I mean? Well, actually more than that, but my initial package that I purchased back in 2021 was $375. But yeah, like to me, I just want the game and I want the game to be better, but mostly I just want the communication between us and the team to have been what it was. You know what I mean? And I feel like we've gone backwards in a sense, and that doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I think I have 5 new messages, which means more gold. I'm almost at 50 gold. Let's go. Let me see. We need a roadmap, no dates, just a very detailed roadmap. They also need to understand cheaters ruin the game faster than any pay to win. So it's important to invest a lot into the cheater detection and punishment. Absolutely. I mean, again, I think they're split in so many different ways right now, because people are saying like, oh, RMT is such a bad thing and it's the thing you got to prioritize. And people are like, no, it's bots. You got to get the bots out of here and do this. And then it's like, but here's the thing, like, being realistic, if RMT was non-existent in this game, if botting was non-existent in this game, if duping and exploiting wasn't a thing in this game, we still have 75 other major issues that need very much attention right now. That is the very realistic statement to fucking say. We have, on top of all of that, that is also gravely entering to the game, we have systems in the game that are in very much need of high attention to. And I don't think that they have enough people to get to every single, like, murder scene basically and hammer that out, you know, like it's too much, you know what I mean? Let me see, funded to completion. Yeah, that was a statement. Every time I hear funded to completion, that always takes me back to like 2018 when I hear that statement. I would like to see the game succeed, but everything in my brain is telling me that it's a failed project. Game is not respecting players' time and too many loopholes for exploiters to grief the heck out of the game and to the point where it'll have the same fate as Arcade. I don't think Ashes will have the same fate as Arcade. I think right now it seems very dark and grim, but the reality is that this is a testing phase. This is not meant to be played as a game yet. However, the loops and things that players are supposed to be engaging with are way too broken for it to feel open. If this was a closed test, I think everything going on is very much like, okay, it sucks, whatever. But that's not the reality. The reality is that this is open. I'm streaming it. I'm talking about it. I'm not under NDA about it. And that negative sentiment right now is going to kill future people into wanting to purchase early access. And that's not good for Intrepid, because what makes startup companies successful is finances. And I've been telling people that come on my stream to not purchase early access. Like, that's the reality. Like, the reality is that I should be trying to get people to purchase this, but in my heart of hearts, I know that that's not the right decision. And that's not the right decision for a player to do right now. If you're interested in Ashes of Creation, the best thing to do is to wait. But what if Intrepid fails by the time they wait? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, again, it's a very realistic situation. Like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want Ashes to say, like, in March, like, hey, we just don't have enough money anymore because, you know, we didn't get as many Steam things or yada, 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 or just whatever, you know, whatever the situation was at that time. And now the people that waited now have to wait even longer because they can't even play Ashes anymore. Now they have to wait till Riot's MMO comes out or some mystery MMO that just releases from somewhere to nowhere. And, you know, they'll have to play that instead. I mean, it's a very dangerous gambling game. Not only are we playing as the testers and players, but as Intrepid is playing too, because it's always going to be a race against the clock. You know, that's just my thing. Let me see, you laugh, but the majority of MMO players see it that way. The casual player base that keeps games players alive will leave if their time is wasted. Well, I think honestly, like, if you're playing a test, you are wasting your time in a sense. Because I mean, this game is going to wipe. This game, you know, right now, like, you are technically wasting your time because there's nothing that's going to keep your progress, right? all this progress that I'm making right now to hit level 20 to try to get radiant gear could all be gone by next month. And then it'll say like, as a casual, like I think what's more harming to casuals actually is wiping, because they feel like, well, I don't even want to spend my time in Ashes because I feel you guys wipe too often. And I feel like all the progress I'm doing is wasting my time. And my thing is that, well, a lot of people don't actually understand that they're actually contributing to a testing phase. You know, because many people want to label this early access and be like, ever since that they went to Steam, I'm not going to call it an alpha anymore. It's early access now. And it's like, well, you can call it early access all you want, but it's still actually an alpha phase that is being very much tested right now. And if they got to wipe their test, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. Pin this comment, my honest opinion, release December 26th, free to play or small box cost $15 with an added in-game store of XP, gather, etc. Boost like battle pass, total change or scrap. I don't think that would go over well with the community, to be honest. I know there'd be people that say they'd rather have the game fail than have it be turned into something like that. Like, I know people that would probably say that. Bro, the state of the game, it should have never been put on Steam. 100% agree. I was not a proponent of Ashes going to Steam. If you were to have watched me prior to the Steam release, like a week before, I was very vocally against it. I was very bewildered by it. And I said that if it goes to Steam, that it was going to be overwhelmingly negative by reviewers, which didn't happen. But still, like, I was very shocked that it went mixed. And then in certain hour, like if you actually limit or go past 1 hour of gameplay or 10 hours of gameplay, it actually gets more and more positive, which is kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Because I just thought there was just gonna be a lot of haters in this game and wanting it to fail. But the reality was that didn't happen, which I thought was overall a very positive thing. But a lot of people just aren't meant to alpha test Ashes, which is why I was against it going to Steam, because Steam people aren't going to care. They're not going to care. They're going to label this game however way they want to label it. And if it doesn't have enough compelling game loops, it doesn't have enough things, like a lot of people are just going to write the game off, which to me is fine, because I don't think it's particularly too damaging. At least as of yet, if Ashes is going to launch, particularly in 2027, potentially even 2028, because if they go and leave right now and then forget about Ashes, I am pretty sure they're not going to forget about their favorite streamer or content creator. And again, I've always said this, but the fact remains, no matter how you felt about a certain project prior, if your favorite streamer or your favorite content creator starts talking about it in a more positive or even like glowing review, you're going to try it again. This happened with New World all the fucking time. I've seen my own friends that I've talked shit about it, that said New World looked like a pile of steaming garbage and still played at launch. So again, you know, players will always doom and gloom and say they'll never coming back and this game's going to die and yada, yada, yada. But as soon as their favorite friends or their friend group or their favorite streamer starts talking about it and their streamer's playing it, they're going to fucking play it. Let's just be real. Because as a new player, the experience is totally different, which is why there's so many reviews. Most of these positive reviews are also the 3 to 20 hour playtime. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, like the more I looked into it, I was like, wow, I was very shocked to see again, people recognizing the bones of the game. And this is why I'm very passionate about this game, because I think the game has so much to succeed from if they can get these systems off the ground, if they can actually like stop making certain systems so unengaging. And just, again, a lot of these systems don't take heavy iteration to fix. Some of them are just simple numerical tweaks or a simple design implementation, and that's it. Like the treasure maps, perfect fucking example right now. You literally have to fucking hit an excavation kit when you're in a circle, and this is what it fucking tells you right now. You did not find any treasure. You should keep searching. Okay, fucking thank you. All you need to do is make this into a mini pylon, and it tells you, hey, you're cold, go more north. Hey, you're warmer, go more northwest. Boom, fucking done. Like, it's not hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not hard. And then this system would be way greatly improved. Bring back the fucking visual indicator mound on the ground, and we're Gucci. We're literally Gucci. So it's just, I don't get it, man. Their floor is 200K subs at 15 a month. That keeps them barely above water. So they need a fairly large player base. Yeah, they do. And this is why I think they need to really make not only the oceanic servers, but they need to make like Brazil, Australia, Germany, Korea, like all of those countries where Arcade and Lineage did very fucking well. All of the countries that had a shit ton of players for Lineage and Arcade, that's where they need to fucking make servers and good server ping for those countries. Because I personally think that as much as North America could be like a pretty big area of coverage for the amount of subscribers to Ashes of Creation, I've always said, and I think the fact remains, that I don't think the US will be the biggest population of players in a country. I think that could actually be Korea or even Brazil. It just depends. And I've always said this, like, PvP games in North America aren't particularly fond over here, but they are in other countries. So let me see, like, WoW's archaeology profession. Yes, exactly. Like, and that's, it's a very simple thing. And the whole treasure map system would be so better because of that. You don't need to completely redesign the treasure map from the ground up, but you definitely need, you know, just something. You need something more than what we have. But those countries like pay to win MMOs, why would Korea play Ashes? Make Ashes of Creation pay to win in Korea. I don't fucking care. If the Koreans want pay to win, give it to them. Make Ashes of Creation not pay to win everyone else, but pay to win in Korea. If they want fucking pay to win, give it to them. Who gives a shit? They can literally have different monetization and shops across all the different countries if they wanted to. Like, I don't know, like if the Koreans, and honestly, I don't think Koreans like pay to win. I think that's a misnomer. I think they're used to pay to win. And to me, that's a big difference. I mean, like I said, and you could even like gauge that particular market too. If you do like a survey to all Koreans and say, would you like Ashes of Creation to have more pay to win aspects, or would you like us to leave it totally like non-pay to win? And they said like 80% of them says, please don't have any pay to win, but 20% did. Then, you know, don't fucking make pay to win in Korea. But if 80% of the people that responded to the survey said, yes, we want this game to be pay to win, well, fucking give it to them. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you have to do that in North America. Let me see. This keeps the lights on mostly. They need 500K with their staff size to be considered getting a healthy profit, which for an MMO isn't crazy, but it's still got to be one of the top 10 staples. Well, again, you're also completely not. If you're talking about just $15 a month from a person, like, yes, having 200K people like is probably the target, probably even more so than that. But realistically, you could have 50,000 people playing a game. And out of those 50,000 people, you have a bunch of them fucking buying cosmetics or buying like, you know, well, I don't think pay to convenience is ever going to exist in Ashes, but because most of the time, like, you can have certain whales that'll buy all the fucking cosmetics, all the fucking things, like, all the time. And so cosmetics play a huge role into the revenue stream as well. Like I said, if people are buying those $20 mounts, like, and you have like 50,000 people buying a $20 mount, like, that's a lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So a microtransaction conversion is typically 2 to 5%. Well, that's what I mean, right? It depends on, you know, the players, like out of that group, like, again, there's streamers, no joke, that stream to 200 to 300 people that actually like make really fucking good money. But then there's other streamers that stream within 200 to 300 people that can't even make Twitch their job, because the portion of people they managed to get like a lot of whales or people that just aren't afraid to throw them money. But then these other people that have just as many viewers really don't have as many people like subbing or donating or whatever, right? And I think that's honestly the most important part, right? If you can get people to pay all the cosmetics and Ashes of Creation, and because again, for me, like I purchased what, like $90 worth of the current like cosmetics in December, out of just the sheer support, because again, like I know that especially startup companies need money to survive, and I want Ashes to thrive. So of course that was me kind of supporting them in that way. Let me see. Yeah, cosmetics will pad profits a lot. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why they're there. Let me see, because Korean MMO is always intentionally grinding. And then a company can sell the solution for a grinding problem of the game. Yeah, and like I said, I don't particularly know. And I've talked to people that are from Korea that say that they personally don't like, pay to win MMOs. But that's one anecdotal experience, right? Again, I kind of feel like it's more just a part of their culture, like in the MMO culture over there, where it's like, okay, like that's just sort of like how we do things, but it doesn't mean you have to like it. But if you do love MMOs, that means you do have to partake in it because you have to be competitive. So I think that's kind of like the big difference. Why do you think WoW Final Fantasy 14 had box costs? It's massively a money source. And this is why I said I think Ashes should have a fucking box cost. I do. In a sense, I think it should have an optional box cost, if that makes sense. I like having physical things personally. Like I'm a huge anime collector. I do a lot of the figures and stuff like that. Like I have some stuff like this was given to me by my wife. It's Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom that I have here. And then I have fucking Kiba from Wolf's Rain. This was another gift that I got. And then I got like just some anime figures, like Fat Gum from My Hero Academia, just like on my stuff. But I love physical stuff, and I always said it'd be really, really cool if Ashes can do like an optional cosmetic or like an actual optional collector's edition Ashes of Creation box, where if you pay $120, you get a physical collector's edition Ashes of Creation box with like physical goodies, maybe the complete musical score of the game from, Bear McQuarrie or whoever the new dude is, stuff like that. Like I love shit like that. And I would gladly pay $120 for a physical box personally. I think that'd be fucking badass. If they did skins for everything else, other than the character skins, I'd be for them. I just don't like the character skins. I feel like it makes it so easy for them to not care about what they look like in game. Well, someone was saying that in RuneScape, they have an option now where you can turn off other people's cosmetics, which I think is really, really cool. Because in your screen, you still have your costume on, but to someone else's screen, it shows me in what I'm actually wearing. And I was like, man, I wouldn't mind that personally, as long as I can I just want to look cool to me. I don't give a shit to look cool to other people. Like I want to look good for me. So like, I think that would be totally fine to me personally. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe with enough feedback, we can get that. Do the early backers get that too? But do I have Goku? I don't have Goku. I don't really, the only thing I have is Dragon Ball Z. I have one wall scroll, back over there. It's a small one of Vegeta, because Vegeta is like the most goated character in Dragon Ball Z. He is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone else says. Goku is a fucking clown, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm a Vegeta stan. Let me see. Ascension WoW does all that. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, like Ascension WoW, I think is probably one of the best private versions of World of Warcraft, in my opinion. Let me see. I think companies stopped doing that because the cost of items in physical copy boxes have started to outstrip what customers are willing to pay for them. Well, probably because a lot of the physical shit just got so expensive. So it's just better for them to do shit digitally, which fucking sucks. Like it sucks, man. Like I see this now more and more with like streaming, and like I used to love collecting like DVDs and Blu-rays, and now like I feel like that's something that I shouldn't be doing anymore. Like I have like Blu-rays and DVDs that I'm literally trying to get rid of at this point. And my hell yeah, dude. Let me see. We see the thing I want skins for that they have or don't have or plan to do that I know is the HUD skins. Oh, you mean like different UI stuff? Interesting. I wouldn't even know what Ashes would do in that regard. That'd be very interesting to see personally. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, there's so many things that Ashes needs to do to get back on their feet this year. Chuckawaka or Chuckawa. Chuckawa. Thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Let me see Tumok HUD skin slash Firebrand HUD. Oh, okay. Now I kind of see what you mean. Glooks LOL. Thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I've never really been much of a HUD person. Like I've always just kind of stick with like the base UI. Like even in WoW, like I just did bartender to like customize my stuff. I didn't really change too much as far as like the HUD goes. Do you have 45 mil? I need to go I need to probably go check it. I think I have 5 or 4 realistically. I think the number's bugged at 41. So I think I actually have 4 new mail realistically. Yeah, dude, that mail bug has been there forever. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's been a persistent bug that I've seen. Assuming this game comes out of Steven intended, all systems working, etc. Do you think he would roll up a character or just bounce around in GM mode? I'm pretty sure he would actually make a character. I think he would do both personally. Like I know I would do both. Like there'd be certain times where it's like, do I want to fuck around in GM mode and go around and giving sentats to people and, you know, one-shotting people for the lulz? Yeah, sure. But then do I actually want to go with like some of my buddies and actually level and, you know, play the game that I spent millions of fucking dollars on? I think he would too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's definitely a bit of both. Let me see. I'd pay $10 to personally ban some bots. I mean, honestly, like the whole bot situation is going to be a very hard thing for them to do. Hell, like I said, multi-billion-dollar companies have problems with it. Like I said, Blizzard 20 years later still has a problem with bots. So, I mean, if a multi-billion-dollar company like Blizzard hasn't gotten rid of them and still allows these like ban wave of bots to occur, then how are you expecting a startup company like Intrepid to just get rid of them overnight and then it's a done deal? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's gonna take a lot. Definitely more manpower for sure. I think it's gonna take way more manpower than it is gonna be back end power. But I think it's gonna be hopefully a good blend of both. Where the back end detection could be easier for the live GMs to, you know, because I can only imagine like as a live GM on a server and be able to look at your other screen and seeing heat maps of like predictability and, oh, okay, this character looks suspicious. I'm just going to pop right over to him, look at him. Yep. This guy named AWF1, you know, is definitely botting. Then they can just boot them out or whatever. But yeah, that is a choice by Blizzard. And that's usually a choice by every multi-billion-dollar company. Like every multi-billion-dollar company usually treats botting the same way. That's Final Fantasy 14. That's Lost Ark. That's WoW. That's a lot of them. The problem with bots is you have to prove it's a bot. If you know someone's botting, you have to prove how. I mean, not really. Like you can actually just ban someone for being super suspicious. But I feel like in Ashes of Creation, you know, like, I mean, bro, it's so obvious. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt obvious a person is botting. And we all have seen it. Everybody in this chat has seen a bot in Ashes of Creation. And so I am pretty sure like it won't be hard. I think it'd be so even more obvious as a GM to see like the back end and see, oh, it's so weird how like every 27 seconds, like you decide to move in this one way. And then it's like the same like commands like over and over and over again. And you manage to go in this perfect synchronicity of the map in this loop, you know, and it's just like, it doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so obvious. Let me see, 9 out of 25, they were probably NNPs, net negative programmers that didn't drop them. They didn't drop them for money reasons. Do you have any idea how many crap devs, sneak/lie their way into a job? Yeah, I mean, like I said, we talked about it earlier. I was very much, I brought up the story of Greg, who's just this fictional character that I created where, you know, again, when you're part of a small team, like everybody in that team needs to be able to pull their weight equally, because if Greg can't do his job right, that means that the other people on his team have to pull Greg up, which means they have to stop what they're doing or put to the side the things they're doing to then get Greg out of the fire. And that just slows everybody down. And if they're all trying to tackle like, hey, our team has like 38 issues that we all got to try to bug fix and correct probably by tonight. So I'm going to get, you know, these 8, you get these 8, you get these 8, you get the rest. And what sucks is as you're going to Greg, you're like, I guess Greg, work on just these 2 and we'll take all the rest and distribute them equally without you. Like that also, again, you're putting more work on yourself than you should because someone at your team isn't, you know, up to snuff basically, or, you know, has been problematic with releasing candidates of updates that didn't work or were broken or, you know, whatever the case was. Right. I thought the guy, I think a guy I thought was botting hitting rocks attacked me and left me alone. And I responded like, and they responded with like a human. Hey, well, like I said, like I go up to people and I've done it on a stream before. I was like, I would go up to someone and be like, hey, are you a bot? And then they would just keep it in a rock, whatever. And I'm just like waiting for them to say something and they don't say anything. And I'm just like, all right, I'll just keep watching you for a little bit longer and see what happens. But to me, I think it's just it's very easy to see, damn, somebody freaking created a legendary journeyman axe. Holy shit. It's fucking wild. Ooh, a granite. The Killua. It's my wife's favorite Hunter character right there, Killua. Let me see. RuneScape box are getting wild with ChatGPT replies. Are you serious? You see, and that's the thing too. It's like I can't even imagine how much bots happen in RuneScape. Because RuneScape is like, I mean, can't you play it on like a web browser? So I can't imagine, like, because of how low resource it is, like how many people try to attempt to bot that game. Are you ChatGPT? Oh, it's so funny. I was surprised they answered my ticket so quickly on bots. I reported 25 of them and 20 of them I haven't seen anymore, so they're gone. That's nice. But again, it's like whack-a-mole, man. Like, oh, the character you may have reported is gone, but now there's a new character with a different name that's on its way to do the same loops that the old one. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a constant cat and mouse game. Like it's not, you know, if there was a company that released an app that could make it totally like an impenetrable and almost physically impossible to bot on a live service game, every single multi-billion-dollar company would have bought it. Like, but the fact that there's just something like that doesn't exist. And I feel like too, especially when it comes to these big multi-billion-dollar companies, is they don't really care about their reputation more so of their community they're serving, because a lot of the bots will pay $15 a month, pay the box costs, like pay all the things necessary to buy to bot. Because once they get it in bot, it's so profitable for them, they make it up in no time at all. So these companies don't really want to like permanently get rid of them because it's actually lucrative for them to stay, right? And them to do their somewhat damage to the servers, because they're paying us, man. Like we have constant, like every month, you know, or every week, you know, probably more so like every couple of months, because I know they do ban waves. I think WoW does ban waves probably quarterly at this point. So, I mean, it's lucrative for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, unfortunately, those are still on cards. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, but it's still lucrative for them. I mean, here's the thing, like the companies don't fucking care where the money's coming from, as long as the money keeps flowing. Vlad, just found you a couple of weeks ago and I really enjoy and appreciate your informative and open-minded look at Ashes. Shabazi, thank you so much, brother. I saw you in a couple of days ago. It's really good to see you come back, man. Yeah, that's kind of what I do, man. I mean, I just like to have conversations with people in the community and, you know, and hopefully have an open dialogue. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me is sort of irrelevant, but the fact that we can just talk about it and talk about your side, talk about my side, and, you know, I don't have to agree with you, and nor do you have to agree with me, but as long as we can both say our piece and understand where people are coming from, I think that's the most important part of the conversation. We see modern economies rely on economic growth and money supply expansion is commonly used to support that growth. Central banks allow moderate inflation as part of this system, which causes prices to rise over time because investors, workers, and companies all seek returns, wages, and profits. Long-term price increases are built into the system. The fact games have been $59.99 for the most part, you still need to sell more these days. Wow, Nick, that's a lot of information, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's honestly because I feel like right now with inflation and how crazy inflation has been and how much the dollar has been affected, it takes so much more work to make a game up to the quality people perceive as standard, right? And this is like where you have a lot of multi-billion-dollar companies that have been literally getting it wrong because the things that they value aren't really things that we value as gamers. Like graphics, yes, graphics are nice, but look at Vampire Survivors. You know, look at these other, look at fucking RuneScape. RuneScape now has over 250,000 people monthly logging into that fucking game. That game is almost 20 something years old. And the graphics look absolutely dog shit compared to like anything new in 2026 because it doesn't matter. I think as long as companies start to figure that out and start to be like, well, what does matter? Like, okay, so if we don't need these, you know, like when I look at like Call of Duty and they're doing so fucking much to make an engaging story and cinematics with like mocap and it's like, bro, what the fuck are y'all are spending like millions of dollars on literally a thing that most players would literally hit the escape button for. I'm not even, am I fucking wrong? Like you go look at like any Call of Duty like game. Are you truly trying to watch the cinematics at this point? Like, are you trying to follow the story or are you just trying to fucking get back to like shooting people? You know, and I don't know what, I don't know what these people are prioritizing anymore. And so of course they have to pass on that cost to the consumer, which is why the whole dreaded, you know, triple A or was it quadruple A game titles, which is a fucking meme at this point. But they have absolutely no idea what gamers want. They're so disconnected to the average gamer that it's almost become the movie industry in gaming. It's really wild. Let me see. RuneScape gets a pass because it was made in 2000. Graphics do matter. I think they do and they don't. I really do. Like I think in some ways they do and in some ways they don't. Like for me, a great example. I don't play RuneScape because of the graphics. Like, and graphics to me ultimately don't matter, but I just, for those graphics, like, and especially when it comes to the setting of an MMO, I can't get past it. My brain won't get past it. So I personally don't play RuneScape and I haven't tried RuneScape because I don't like the graphics. Like I don't like, you know, the kind of pixel, like I don't have that nostalgia either for it either. So, I think most people that have played RuneScape probably played it like super early on in their life. So there's this very nostalgic part of it and they can look past it because back then it was probably really amazing. But now it's like in any kind of comparison mode, it's just not the same. Let me see. I think art style matters way more than fidelity. It's also very true too. But even art style to some players just don't jive. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like the art style of Ashes and we can all, you know, criticize or say like, well, Ashes doesn't really have an art style, which I disagree. I think there is an art style. By it be very generic, but it's still one. Especially when you look at their mounts and you look at some of the other things, there is definitely, you know, yeah, let me rephrase, graphics don't matter, art style matters. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at, and that's the thing that I love about the indie games is you look at games like, oh my God, what's that game? It's like a paint art style. And it's, not an ARPG, but it's a roguelike game. Oh my God, I'm not going to fucking remember, but it's like this purple character and it's like, it looks very painty and it's beautiful, by the way. Undertale, probably, maybe. Ori, I got to look at Ori. Hold on, because it's going to bother me. Yes, Ori. Yes. Now I have it in my head. Thank you, dude. So it's gonna bother me. It's a very beautiful like art style, and I think I think that creativity comes from people in the gaming sphere that want to prove themselves, you know, to be like a legitimate player, like in the sphere, right? Because maybe they want to work at like a place like, you know, Blizzard or, you know, some bigger gaming company, right? And so they feel like they have something to prove. But also, I think some of those developers don't give a shit about proving anything to anybody. They just had a great idea that they brought to life. You know what I'm saying? But Good Human, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And I think that's why we've seen this, not even a resurgence, but we've seen like a lot of indie wins lately because it's so good. Holy shitty balls, dude. Bug Human, dude, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, man. Thank you. Love that, brother. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much, man. If you got a gifted from Good Human here, man, give a hearts in chat, man. Thank you so much for that, dude. You did not need to do that, but thank you so much. Wow. Let me see. Check out the new game, No Rest for the Wicked, from the maker of Ori. A very unique game. Yeah, I'll probably have to check that one out. Like I said, I've been so ashes pilled right now that I haven't been able to check out a lot of the indie games that have been going on, man. But yeah, I think honestly, indie has really saved gaming, especially in 2025. Holy shit, bro. Gaming in 2025 fucking sucked, dude. If you look at it from just the major players, like what game came out in 2025 from a major multi-dollar studio that was good? Maybe one or two titles out of the hundreds of games throughout all of 2025. Like maybe. Fucking wild. Look at the guy who made Stardew. He gives no shits. He's like, my next game will be done when it's done. If you bug it too much, it won't ever come out. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, and because when you have a vision and you have a certain way that you're being selfish about, and that's why I kind of went into Ashes, because when I heard Steven talk to Asman, like Steven, you know, super passionate about his vision and about what he wanted to do for Ashes. And I'm a very passionate person. And when I hear someone speak in a very genuine passion talk, like it gets me going, right? I'm like, oh shit, well, let me go hear what this game is all about, right? Let me see. Where Winds Meet was the best thing of 2025, in my opinion. Yeah, that game, like I said, I still have that on my list to just play on my own time, because I had so many content creator friends that said, Vlad, you really got to try out this game, dude. It's so fucking good. You see, what's crazy, I didn't even play Ori, so the art style must have stuck from just a commercial. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, it's a lot of the indie shit, man, has really fucking saved gaming, because it really wasn't coming from the fucking multi-billion-dollar companies. I'll tell you that much, man. Majority of the big money grab without any interest or innovative content. Exactly, because they're still stuck on what they think makes a good game. It's so easy if you just fucking listen. But a lot of these companies are so hard-headed, and a lot of the people are so ego-driven that they can't. It's literally South Park in the fucking what is it, San Francisco episode, where everyone's like farting into the fucking, you know, champagne glasses and shit. That's literally what these AAA companies are like. They're so much into their own product that they can't even listen to the community they're trying to serve. It's so stupid. Let me see. Vladis, making AAA is expensive and risky and takes a long time. That's why you won't see them publishing every year. And it's also a brand risk. Well, honestly, the brand risk for a lot of AAA studios is most of these people aren't buying their games anymore. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that the AAAs have to pump out games like every year. But the fact is that you're right. It does take millions, now hundreds of millions of dollars to make a singular title. And the fact that they're so tone deaf, and the fact that they still don't understand what makes a good game, and they get jealous at games, especially the indie people that do make good games, they don't even want to like accept it. You know, it's so stupid. Let me see. What I liked about Where Winds Meet was the professions. I was a doctor, and people would get hurt for like a sprain or a headache, and they would need a doctor to come and heal them. And the heal was a mini game. See, that's so interesting. Like I would be very interested to see like how that works, because a lot of the people that have talked to me about Where Winds Meet is it has so many really fun mini game MMO like systems in this open world game. And I'm like, all right, well, I probably have to try it at least, right? So I just been sort of waiting to see maybe if it goes on sale or, you know, it's just honestly like right now, I have no fucking time. And when I play a game, like I usually get succumbed by it. And, you know, this is why I play Ashes a lot. And but then I also have to make like YouTube content for Ashes, and then I have to like do all my shorts and like my back end stuff, and that all takes time. And it's like, and then I think of myself, oh my God, should I even fucking play another game that could take more of my time away? It is just, like it just gets so for me. The thing I hate was the time gated content. Then Ashes came out, so I was back to Tessa's phase. Wait, where Winds Meet is free? I did not know that. Holy shit. So if Where Winds Meet is free, oh, it's a mobile game. Okay. So I'm guessing it has like the pay to win stuff in it or whatever. So technically, is it an MMO then? Or what is it like? What genre of game is it? Is it just like an open world, like sandbox game kind of thing? 100% free, no pay to win, no pay to progress, all cosmetic. Wow. And it's made, who made it? What company made this game? Because that does not sound like some multi-billion-dollar company. Chinese? That's super odd. Only gacha outfits? Ah, okay. I was like, it just sounded so so interesting to me. How do you know if Layoffs hit Intrepid? Because we were literally talking about it. Let me show you real fast. So this was a thing right here talking about the layoffs. There was a Reddit post, just to give brief context, and I'll go back to playing. So if you want to read this, I'll put it in chat again. NetEase did this. Wow, dude, NetEase must be making so much fucking money that they're just like, you know what? We'll just do this free to play. We won't even do pay to win in it, and we'll just do like gacha cosmetics. They probably just did this as a fucking like whatever, because NetEase makes fucking bank. Like that's crazy. It's Chinese. Surely there's a scam somewhere. It's not a mobile game. It's just cosmetics, and it's basically a solo MMO that you can co-op. Ah, so it's a solo MMO. That's a very interesting way. Big Arcane, thank you so much for the sub, brother. Thank you. Also, I think Ashes will struggle with its subscription model in 2027. I think it possibly could, but if Ashes is good, it won't. To me, again, like if Ashes is a great game, like I don't think it, like just like anything else, if it's great, people will get it. Like I've never heard people say like, oh, I love this game, but it's $15 a month, so I'm not going to play it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you love something, you're going to make a way to try to play it. If all your friends are playing it, everyone's having a good time in it, you're going to sacrifice somewhere to play it. Now, if the game is mid to them, right? If it's something that, you know, they're not enjoying, why are you going to pay $15 a month for something that you're not even really enjoying, right? So it's, again, it's all subjective. But I think if you're loving it and you're having a great time, you're not going to care that it's $15 a month. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I play it with my Backbone controller on my phone. What do you play? What game do you play like that? I see what you mean, but this isn't what I mean with Where the Winds Meet. Yeah, because isn't BDO, I know BDO isn't free. Like you do have to actually play you have to pay something for BDO. Netflix has turned to poop, but millions still buy that subscription. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have Netflix. And I was talking to my wife about that because we pay almost like $20 a month. And I've watched that movie so many times, it's crazy. And I still don't even have the music memorized, but I've fucking seen that movie a lot. But that's like the one movie that I could say this past year that, you know, my girls have been really watching. There's two modes in Where the Winds Meet. One that's online and one you can interact with other players, and there's one that's solo mode that's just your world. But there's raid bosses and whatnot. Pretty fun. Only downside, it's a year. Oh, it's a year behind. Like, what do you mean it's a year behind? Like there's not as much content, you mean, or what? I'm just curious. Let me see. Every game nowadays is suddenly an MMO just for marketing reasons to attract those desperate people ready to spend their money. Yeah, 100%. Because it's like, it feels like Where the Winds Meet probably could have been an actual MMO, but to make an actual MMO would have costed them way more money. So they decided to reformat the game to be in this kind of weirdish middle ground. Let me see from Stephen AOC. I want to add some clarity. Oh yeah. We saw that. Yeah, we saw that. We were just reading that on Reddit. They are still rolling out content into the US servers. In Colombia, people buy a Netflix account and then sell the extra profiles like $4 each a month. It's great. Holy shit. That is nutty. That is crazy. I didn't even know people actually did that as a legitimate like thing. That's kind of wild. All right. Oh man. Just two. Oh, I gotta pay my dues. Sorry, that was my little girl. You see, I mean, you can buy AOC accounts on G2G for like $10. No way. There's no way. Are you serious? Because I could have sworn that you could buy like accounts, but they were way more than $10. Are you gonna make me look? G2G. Ashes of creation. Counts. I see $15 a month. Holy shit. Look at this, chat. This is so wild. There's 174 results. You can literally buy the account. Isn't this freaking wild? Go look on gold coins, Vladis. Look at the prices. Oh god, dude. What is this? Shoal. It's literally for 30 gold, it's $15. Is that a lot? That to me is a lot. This isn't cheap. So for 100 gold, 100 gold is $50. Never gonna use Honest Gamer 24%. Hey, dude, screw you, buddy. Screw you, man. Oh, you see yes, and you play it with your IP address, and then you get mail from the police. But you can buy a cheaper account than the cost of the alpha. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. See, I've never bought in gold, so I don't even know what's considered to be cheap or expensive. But if you're buying 10 gold for $5, I guess that is pretty fucking cheap. So Resna has, or Shoal has, I think, the cheapest gold. Hey, let's be glad during the summer vacation gold was 25 cents. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's cheaper than I thought, honestly. Yeah, that's wild. Well, at least they don't have the Jova 1 to 5 minute delivery, AOC over 8K quick completion orders. The 2 and 3 methods are the safest. Oh, they actually tell you, the methods. Okay, this is crazy. Method 1, face-to-face trading. Put any items, put up any items. Through the market, I do not bear the handling fee. Please circulate the selling price. Pay attention to estimated buyer price. Method 3, use another Steam account to purchase gold, use this new account to buy items and trade them. Okay, so basically have a burner account. So it's like if you use method 3, you have to have a burner Steam account, basically. Holy shit, dude, this is fucking wild. What is this? Let me see. Don't believe in a large amount of low price gold as it is obtained through bugs or bots and sold to you, which may result in you being banned. The fact that it even tells you that is wild. That is crazy. You know, RMT is bad when the RMTs are telling you which ones are safe or not. That is nutty. That's crazy, man. Yep. People, you know, are beyond fucking desperate in a fucking alpha that could be wiped at any moment. Just makes me laugh a little bit, makes me giggle. Let me see. I was AFK. What was going on? Teaching us RMT. Apparently, G2G told you all the different methods that it uses to trade its players the stolen gold, or like when you buy gold from them, like the safest ways to get that money from them, which is fucking wild. Steven's account on there to sell gold and fund AOC Gigabrain. Oh my god, dude. Let me see. Honestly, RMT is never going to change. Every MMO has it as it feels like. Oh, of course, dude. Like I said, any MMO that comes out that's worth its weight for people to go in and play, you best believe the RMTers are going to be there too, man. Like it is what it is, dude. This industry, the RMT industry, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like it's fucking huge. And I would say after 20 years, like we're probably longer, right, of MMOs, it is definitely a multi-billion-dollar industry. This people gladly spend money to stomp a person because they were upset at them. Like it is what it is. Is the add phone verification, no prepaid? Honestly, I would love that. Personally. I wouldn't mind that at all. But I mean, I know people, like I said, there's some people that won't like it. There's some people that will like it. I mean, my whole thing is that there needs to be as many like things and barriers for people to not cheat. And here's the thing. Like if you're suspended, right? Like let's say you're slapped on the wrist, I think that account should add extra verification. Like extra verification from your account now is required because you broke the rules. And we want to follow your account more suspiciously. You know, I think that's like to me would be a very like good thing to do. Like if you want to come back to our game, you need this added verification. If you choose not to do this added verification, then we'll like extend your suspension even further. You know? Or, you know, it basically will alleviate your suspension by putting in this extra information kind of thing. If you choose not to, then it's going to be permanent. Yeah, anger makes people do dumb things. Killed a mule runner. He came back and went red on me. My guild killed him and he dropped an epic pedal shard neck. Oof. Damn. Let me see. RuneScape killed RMT. They changed trading to where you had to make a trade equal value, but they also lost a lot of players and reverted it back. Ooh, I see. I didn't. That's crazy. Because not everything is equal value, right? I mean, not everything could be an equal value, or what could necessitate an equal value. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what if I need a lot of like common fish and I don't give a shit about the other rarities or whatever. And like, oh, you need to give me something, but you're going to trade me something like epic in return, or, you know, I don't know. I don't see how that works really. Birth certificate verification required. Let me see. I just don't think banning RMT peeps should be the focus. The game has been such a joy to play, but I'm seeing more issues the longer I'm playing. Well, of course, brother. Like we've all seen these issues. Like there's a ton of issues like in this game, and I think we really need to like figure out these issues as quickly as possible, and get the game to a way better like place. because right now it's not at a good place right now. A lot of players are just not having fun with it. It's just not enjoyable. Let me see. Ashes or won't work on Ashes in a player driven market. Yeah, no, it can't. That definitely can't. A friend of mine offered a carry service in Aeon 2. We played for a while on the Taiwan server. I was shocked when he showed me how he literally made thousands of dollars. So I really understand people offering those type of services. Oh, dude, yeah, like I said, it's so fucking lucrative. Like I totally mean it. Like, I mean, hell, dude, like if I can go to some no-name MMO and RMT myself to make some cash for my family, I'd fucking do it too. You know? But to me, like, I think in some games, like the sanctity of it needs to be preserved, but then there's some games where the sanctity hasn't been preserved fucking ever. So it's like, and that's a lot of the time where people go. Phoenix Fire, thanks so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, man. You can see if guild / polar and then ban. My God. I actually like the idea of people only having one account, but yeah, but how can you, there's no way to police that, right? There's no way to like, you know, unless they do some kind of IP verification or hardware verification, like I don't, and then you have another laptop at your house or a whole ass other computer, you know what I mean? Like there's really no way to ever police that. You see, not just add phone verifications for bans to mean something. Yeah, like I said, like I think when it comes to like people that get suspended and stuff like that, if there needs to be an extra verification to be required after, like I wouldn't mind that at all. So as long as you don't fucking break the rules, you won't ever need to have like that extra verification on your account. But if you do break the rules and you're caught breaking the rules, and if you want to fucking come back, that means you're gonna have to add some more verification, you know, to your account. So there is one way, but people won't like it. Okay. What is it, Bellyful? What is it? I'm new here. Oh, well, welcome, brother. Like I said, is this game play to earn? This game is, yes, like right now, the philosophy in this game is meant to be like for players to earn their keep, make their gold and everything like that. But we do have like a huge problem with botting right now, with RMT, with also duping and exploiting. But the philosophy of this game is supposed to be a player-driven economy. But of course, if you've been around the MMO circles, a lot of the player-driven economies always get thwarted by RMTers. So that, you know, that's just how it is. Just got here. What happened, Vlad? Intrepid dead. I know it was just a few, but do you have a TLDR on your thoughts? Yeah. So just real quick, Red. We talked about it earlier, but there was a post on Reddit from this person, and they posted someone from fucking,
I know 12 inches pretty well. Let me see that.
damn it, my train of thought, from LinkedIn, which was this person, and then they were talking about layoffs. So we didn't know how many layoffs, but then because this was on the Ashes Reddit, or no, it was on the MMO Reddit, I should say. Steven gave a response to it, and his response was this. Basically, TLDR was that it was only 9 people out of the 250 that were impacted. So it wasn't like this massive layoff. And last year they did the same thing where they laid off like 12 people, but then like rehired them back, not them specifically, but those positions back like down the road. So I don't know in the big scheme of things, like how this is going to impact. I'm sure it is depending on which teams were affected, because it wasn't really stated. But depending on if there are critical teams that were affected by this, usually onboarding, finding the right person to take the job. I mean, it could be months, and then onboarding them could also take more months to get them, you know, painted in with like, you know, their job, their tools, like, you know, the team environment, all that stuff, right? The onboarding process is always shit. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but that's kind of the TLDR. Like my personal thoughts on it is, it just sort of is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not as doom and gloom as people are claiming it to be. But I think right now, because of how negative the sentiment in Ashes is currently, I think people are just, this is like another negative blow to, you know, to Ashes really. So that's kind of the TLDR. Steven is trying to get an ARC to join the dev team. You guys are fucking wild, dude. You guys are so wild. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I mean, this game has amazing potential, but they have a lot to focus on now, and they need to be extremely transparent in the next 3 to 6 months to fix the bad rap. I would say right now, like they have time, um, as far as like the reputation goes, because I think they can still develop a bad reputation in fixing everything anyway. At the end of the day, the thing that people care about the most is the results, right? And if we can get certain systems back on track, if caravans can become great, like look, all you have to do, if you had a small patch, let's say 7 lines, and those 7 lines consisted of nerfs to the fucking crate system, flagging when you pick up another person's crate, caravans are buffed, you have bigger storages in caravans. Caravans are now at a base speed, like 25% faster at a base speed. There's actual like caravan components that actually do shit for more engaging PvP. Those 7 lines alone would have caused way more hype than anything that major patch did. Again, it's all about addressing the community concerns regarding certain systems. And I think if we can do that correctly, then overall, I think we'll have a win. But right now, we are just not at that winning patch yet, where the systems that we've been calling out to be nerfed and to be buffed and to be adjusted and to be fixed just haven't got there yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take some time, but I hope next month in February, we get exactly that. You know what I mean? Exactly those things. Let me see, been with the game since Kickstarter. They need true roadmap that's realistic. They can't be letting people down. Yeah, I think right now people have been in this whole roller coaster ride of emotions of, feeling really good at certain points, feeling really terrible at certain points. And I think they just need a win. Intrepid overall, like, especially right now, like after hearing these layoffs, I don't think this did anything positive for the community, nor did it do them. So I think if anything, that's going to push the team to like push on forward in a more like concisive and, straightforward, hopefully more methodical tone. And then us as the community, we need to still be diligent into the systems and the things that we like, don't like, things we want, still want to be fixed, or the systems that we still want to be adjusted. We got to still keep being loud about it. You know what I mean? So it's just bring back the sun god. Oh my god, no. No, 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 no. We do not need to bring back the sun god. The sun god can be away. You can go over there. Yeah, so that's kind of it. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it right now. But I really do appreciate everybody coming on and hanging out with me for these past few hours. And let me know, did you guys like the fact there wasn't a countdown anymore? Did you want me to stick with this couple of days? Like I said, I still might use a countdown to better prepare myself so I don't seem like such a jackass for the first couple of minutes. But yeah, like hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I think we had a really good conversation today. Good luck. The game is on pace to fail. All right, brother. Well, thank you for the luck at least. Let me see exactly waste of time I stopped playing. Yeah, and like I said, if you guys aren't enjoying your time, then you have to go elsewhere. Like, there's no reason to be so frustrated at a game that isn't finished. Like, go to games that are finished that are still shit and complain about them. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably better served to your time. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Vlad is still be streaming the PTR now that the PTR has been lifted. If there's stuff worthy to be tested in the PTR, I will be there. But I just didn't see anything about these patch notes that really wanted me or grabbed me to go into the PTR personally. I've been watching your videos, your vids very recently. Would love for you to continue this kind of content. Yeah, man. Like I said, I stream every day for at least a couple of hours. I try to keep my streams to at least 2 hours. Like sometimes I'll go longer. But I think having a more concise stream instead of it going like 4 or 5 hours long, that way when people can rewatch it later, it just feels like it passes by quickly, rather than like, the fear of clicking on a 4.5 or 6 hour stream. So, and it gives me time to spend time with my family and also to game. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me see who is currently streaming right now. And let's go into Ashes of Creation. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking. There's always so many new people that I've never seen before. Oh, there's this dude with 1 viewer. Shady Pains. He's only been streaming for 7 minutes. And he's brand new. He says he's still learning and enjoying Ashes of Creation. Let's go raid him. Oh wait, he's been streaming for 7 hours. Holy shit. Well, hopefully he isn't leaving anytime soon. All right, guys, y'all have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.